So here's our next demonstration is on the mouth. You can see I've blocked out the basic shapes, the highlights and shadows, outline on my lips here. I'm going to start, as always, by laying down my shadow in the darkest areas with the purple. So just want to take a second to do that. One of the tricks to making these lips look more realistic is capturing all the highlights, all those medium values, and using directional shading. Same as how we did in the iris with the eyes, we're going to use directional shading on the lips that follows the contour of the lips. So we want these lips to look rounded, just like in our shading studies, how we used shading to follow the contours of a round sphere. We're going to follow the contour and the roundness of this lip. So I'm going to shade kind of like a curved line going up and down. And begin to lay down. I'm starting with the directional shading with my purple pencil, where you have those creases and wrinkles. I'm going to lay those down with purple, or with violet pencil, I should say. This is going to be a mixture of patch, directional shading, and smooth shading. Try and find as many value changes as possible in here. If your person in your reference picture has lip gloss on or very shiny lips, you're going to get that kind of textured look of creating high contrast. What may help even is varnishing your colored pencils or pressing hard to create that glossy finish. Top lip is much darker up here. There's a cast shadow because of the way that my figure has their head tilted. Darker ridge up here at the top. Just have my pencils following the contour of the lip, making sure I get all those little value changes in here as well. You should have a minimum of at least 5 value changes. It's a full range of lights and darks. So I've kind of mapped that all out with my purple pencil here. And you can start to see it developing form now. I'm going to switch over to my red pencil. I'm going to work into my darkest areas first. Start over here at the corners, and then work my way in. And work down into some of those wrinkles and creases in the lip there. And across. I'm going to use directional shading with my red pencil as well. The figure I'm drawing from is African American, so this top lip just happens to be very dark, which is why I covered that whole upper lip with all that red. I'm going to work down into the bottom lip now, which has more highlights on it. I won't use my red all the way into those highlights. I'll switch to my pink pencil when I get into that area. So I'm working in the dark areas, going into all those little lip creases. Make sure you notice that where you have those deeper creases, you have this dark shadow, and then on the other side of that dark shadow usually is a highlight. Keeping that contrast is what will really make it pop out and look more three-dimensional. Okay, I'm ready to switch to my pink pencil now. Blend that into my red. Fade out into my highlight areas. Now my reference picture has pretty high gloss. There's a strong highlight right in the middle of the lip here. So I'm pressing pretty hard for mine. And I want it to look like it has that shine. I'm going to burnish. That means creating a glossy finish, pressing hard. It's glazing the wax into the paper. Just a little bit here. That highlighted area, my top lip. So using directional shading. Now I'm ready to push the values darker. You can still kind of see some of that purple shading showing through, so I'm going to switch over to my green pencil. With our complements again. I'm very lightly going to layer this into my red, just where I want to deepen the value. And I'm not going to lay the green over the entire lip, just in my darkest shadows. So I want to maintain some of that red hue. Okay. Start to push the value through that middle part of the lip. Now what happens if you added too much green? And it's more than you want. You're going to just use that sandwiching effect and go back to your red pencil, layer it back over the top, so you've got red, green, and then red again. Now if you've done a nice job blending, that's why you won't have to do that, but if you put too much, you can do that. If you put so much green or too much of another color and you don't think that covering it up is going to be enough to fix the problem, in order to fix that, you just need to grab your kneaded eraser and just twist that over the top, and it'll pick up some of that wax. And you can take your magic rub eraser over the top of that and begin to lift up some of the pencil. Now, it won't completely erase it like it does with a regular ebony pencil, but it'll get rid of some of it, enough that you'll be able to fix the problem. Okay. Start to push that value. I'm going to hold it up so you can see where I'm at. I've started to push those values. You see a little bit of the outline showing through? That's because I drew that out and blocked out my shapes with the purple. You're going to do it with a pencil, so yours won't be showing through as much. Double check, see if you see any other colors. Those of you may have a little bit more orange showing in some of those bottom areas. And then even on this top area, in my top lip up here, could use a little bit more green. Building intensity up here a little bit. Into that. Go back and forth with your red and green. And this is even browned up a little bit. So I'm going to grab my orange pencil, just like I would in a skin tone. I'm going to add a little bit of orange to the top of that. And I'll start to pull out that brown here. And I'm just about done with that. If you want to go back into your highlights with your white pencil, you can do that as well.